What is up, beautiful people? I wanted to come in here and really just talk about the dangers of GLP-1. I said it. I said it. Yes, as somebody who is currently on a GLP-1, I do want to talk about the dangers. And I think somebody needs to be speaking about this. There's like this thing happening right now. It has blown up on the virtual space, and I just feel like we need to have this conversation. So let me take your hand and we're going to talk about this. Let's be real. GLP-1s are an incredible peptide that can be added to anybody's regime depending on, obviously, if you are somebody who needs to be taking them. Now, there are many different kinds of peptides available. Many do different things. Currently, I'm on a semaglutide peptide, and what that's doing is just really helping me get rid of the inflammation and stuff like that from my body. It is helping me feel more and more like myself. But there is something that needs to be discussed. So I'm openly being loud and proud about my journey. Because for myself, when I was first prescribed a semaglutide almost a year ago, a little over a year ago, and it took me a year to fill my prescription, it was almost at the expiration date of the prescription. I was trying to do a lot of research and trying to find other videos of women my age in midlife that were actually doing this, and I didn't find a lot. Now it seems to be a lot on TikTok and all of the platforms. There's lots of threads. There are a lot of influencers, big name influencers, and this is what I want to talk about. So for myself, I was prescribed by a nurse practitioner at a health center, somebody who follows me, who is in the know of all of the things that they need to know about me health-wise. And this is important because you can go pretty much on any big influencer's page that is also currently taking a GLP-1, and they're gonna direct you to their link in bio. Link in bio. They are promoting these different pop-up pharmacies. Now, many of these pharmacies may be reputable. I don't know. However, I do believe that some of these pharmacies are not exactly legit. We got to talk about that. We've got to talk about that. These influencers are actually being given a cut of the profits. Like, they are being paid to direct you to these pharmacies. There are people that are now telling you, hey, if you've been denied, access to a GLP-1 by your nurse practitioner, your doctor, whatever, to just go online. We really need to start doing our research here. My fear is, first of all, what is happening? What is happening? Because there seems to be this language around just getting the medication. First of all, do I think everybody needs to be in a GLP-1? I mean, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. Right now, there is guidelines in order to achieving them. Like, you need to fit certain criteria in order to achieve them. Are people on certain GLP-1s that maybe don't need to be? Again, I'm not a doctor. Who am I to tell you, go to the link in my bio and purchase? Like, this to me feels wrong. And so I think that, like anything in life, when there is an opportunity to make bank, this is where we start to put profits over people. And I just want to come in here and be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Can we just take a moment, take a breather, take a pause, and reflect on what is happening? Now, I will be honest with you. When I considered filling my prescription, I had resistance. I had major resistance. Why? I live in a very small town in Northern Ontario, Canada. Very small town. I have a online business, as an empowerment coach, as somebody who tries to empower women. And my message has always been, we're more than our bodies. Especially when I went under the brand that was formerly known as Feed That Glow, it was really bigger than your body. Like, it's not about your size means nothing, right? It's like how you feel here and here. Those were the most important, because when you feel good about yourself, you'll make decisions in favor of that. And you'll start to take up space in your body and all of the things, right? So one creates the other. And so I was afraid to fill my prescription in my small town because I was afraid of judgment. Okay, I was afraid. And I will tell you, when I did pick up my prescription, I was very intimidated, but I decided to march my fine ass up to that counter and just own it, because none of these people matter. And so what I want to come in here and tell you is, if this is why you're looking for online pharmacies, because you are afraid of being judged by the pharmacy in your town or your city, we need to snap out of that. The reason I'm directing you to these places is because, first of all, I feel like they're safer. Now, do I know that they're safer? No, but I just feel like they're safer. Like they're legit pharmacies. I'm not. Again, what do I know? I don't know about these compound pharmacies and these online. I don't know nothing of them. But I do know that there is this huge push by influencers to be pushing these GLP-1s through the link in their bio. And so right there, that feels icky, okay? It feels really icky. Like the way the marketing and everything is done feels really icky. And so if you're tempted to purchase from an online pharmacy, from an influencer, I need you to take a breath. Why? And ask yourself, why do you feel like you need to do this? If you feel like you really need to be in a GLP-1, I would recommend you to go speak to your medical professionals. Now, if you feel like you're not being heard by your doctor, you can get second opinions, right? I would really vouch for these lanes, okay? Because I have read some horror stories online. I've clicked on some of these influencer bios with their link in bio and landed on some really sketchy sales pages, which just makes me think, like, you are injecting what you believe to be this peptide into your body, but is it? Like, I think it's really important that we start to discern more and more and more and more, right? And so if the fear of you asking your doctor, your medical professional team to have this prescription, have the conversation, if your fear is to do that, then we got to do something, okay? You're supposed to have a relationship with your medical team. Be as open with them as possible. If you feel like they're judging you, if you feel like you're not being heard, then again, seek other counsel. Like, get other, like, find another doctor, find another, like, I'm not, again, like, who am I, right? I am not in your shoes. I am just simply saying nothing is black and white. There is a lot of nuance. There is a lot of gray areas, and we need to be ultra discerning in this day and age, I believe. Because I do believe that these sketchy landing pages that lead to these other pharmacies, it's going to give a bad rap. And this is your life. And so I want you to take this serious, okay? I want you to take this journey serious. Have the conversations. Be vulnerable with your medical team. If, again, you don't feel like you're being heard, you don't feel like you're being validated, you don't feel like you're being seen, you don't feel safe, these need to be expressed so that you can have this workaround relationship, or, again, seek a different opinion. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. I had, as I said, looked at an online pharmacy. When I was researching it, I found one that was reputable, that had good reviews. It was in my country, it was in Canada. And again, like, I did the research. Then I compared pricing, okay? Because sometimes you're thinking it might be cheaper, but actually there's all these hidden costs. And so you wanna make sure that you're, like, really, really, really breaking it down. I spoke to this online pharmacy. I had a lot of different questions because the page looked weird. There was a lot of fill in the blanks in my mind. So I actually had conversations. So I would encourage you to do that as well. So if you feel like doing it the normal, quote unquote, normal, follow the doctor prescription route, and you want to explore different avenues, amazing. do your research, have the conversations, ask the questions, look for the hidden costs, because there are hidden costs. I found hidden costs on so many of these online pharmacies. So look for that. Again, go back through the reviews, right? Look on websites to see how reputable this company is. Please don't go purchasing from an online influencer. Don't do it. I mean, obviously do what you feel is best for you, but like, I would advise you to explore other routes prior. We need to talk about this, because this is crazy to me that this is where we're at in 2025. It's crazy to me. And if you do decide to be brave enough and to fill the prescription with your local pharmacy, be brave enough to pick it up. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Who gives a rat's ass about what other people think about you? If you, in this day and age, especially if you're a midlife mama like me, in this day and age, people are always going to judge. They're always going to have an opinion about you. Let them. Because your role is not to convince other people who you be. What you do is energetically how you represent yourself. And so you tap into that inner confidence. You tap into that. And it's not fake it till you make it, it's be it until you see it. And I walked in to grab my prescription. I had that moment of like, and then I just tapped into it. Be it until you see it. I walked with my head held high. I asked for my prescription. And then I just smiled, because I don't give a rat's ass about who is behind the counter. Their opinion of me does not pay my bills. They're not gonna come to my funeral. They don't matter. I won't go to them for advice, so why do I care, right? I understand biologically, right? Like, and I have so many videos on this of why we actually care, but you're safe, okay? You're safe. The way that they perceive you has nothing to do with you. It's about their own insecurities. And when you start to see that, you start to play bigger in your life, because you literally understand that most people live in this really narrow view of being scared of what other people are going to think of them. When you stop giving a shit, there's this greater expansion here called life that you get to play in and actually not give a shit and go out and make mistakes, go out and live big and be brave and learn from all of it, and then keep creating, because you have this one expansive life. What somebody else thinks of you, who cares, right? And so that's why I wanted to come in here. I wanted to have that conversation. I thought it was really, really important. The way the world is now, it is wild. So stay safe, stay safe. But let me know in the comments if you have any questions, or if you'd like me to touch on any other things. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. And I will never direct you to a link in my bio to go purchase a GLP-1. That I can tell you right now. I don't feel good about this. I will tell you to go get my journals and my books when they drop. But besides that, that's all you're getting. Thank you so much for being here. As always, be brave, be bold, be you.